I want to find a dragon. Good morning from my second day here in Toulouse. And the temperature's dropped. It's about 4 to 6 degrees cooler than yesterday. Forecasting a high of around 10 degrees. It's noticeably colder. But never mind, it's not going to spoil my day, because in this video I'm going to discover a little more of the Roman history of Toulouse and the medieval history. Take a look at the canals that cross Toulouse and try and find a dragon. And as usual, we'll find lots of interesting things to look at, like the building in front of me, the Chateau, the water castle. It's certainly not a castle, and it's not really a water tower because it doesn't have a storage reservoir. It's built between 1821 to 1825 and financed by Monsieur Charles Lagan. He was a lawyer and the king's prosecutor, and he left 50,000 gold coins in his will to improve the city's water system. And it was converted to an art gallery back in 1974. And this little square is La Place Charles Lagan, named after the financier. And it's quite a pleasant little square here. It really is. Just wish the temperature was a little warmer. But the tower is quite interesting to look up at it. You've got a little rotunda at the top, and the larger building at the base, and the separate building. And it's quite a popular attraction here as an art gallery. But let's head on and see what else we can discover. And we'll head up and try and find that dragon towards the end of the video. Nice little walk down one of the back streets towards the port Viguerie, named after Charles Viguerie, a surgeon from the Grave Hospital just a few yards down the road. He died in 1855, aged 76. And these gates and everything here and the area just in front by the river were all redeveloped following the floods of 1772. And these floodgates really are quite impressive. But there again, they need to be, because they need to hold back the water. This part of the River Garonne is prone to flooding. It's nice to see them. Imagine the gates would have been quite different when it was built all those years ago. See the massive stonework here and the brick wall behind. Really rather interesting. Let's head over to the former hospital and the Chapelle Saint-Joseph and see what else we can discover. And this is the hospital. Little walkway here under the Pont St Pierre, and the entrance gate here into the former hospital. See the sign on the top. Really rather nice. Nice bit of architecture. Grave Hospital dates back to 1197, and in the 14th century it cared for plague victims. Most of what we see here is sort of 17th century, 18th century. See the buildings behind me. And the chapel to St Joseph, built in the 18th century. Consecration to St Joseph, the patron saint of carpenters, relates to its role back in the 17th century at the time of the great imprisonment of the poor. With numerous educational workshops designed to train the people in carpentry and other skills. And looking up at the chapel there, with its dome, little rotunda on the top, really looks rather nice. Just a shame that I can't go in. It's not open to the public, I don't believe. I did try and find that out. So yes, another one that's closed. Never mind. But it's nice to walk here. It's been a sight, say, of healing the sick of 800-900 years. Really nice. But let's walk across the bridge and back into the centre of the old part of Toulouse and see what we can discover and try and find that dragon. This is the Pont St Pierre, St Peter's Bridge, originally constructed between 1849 and 1852. But with the onset of the motor car, heavy traffic caused the bridge to crack, and it was replaced back in 1984. The bridge is 240 metres in length and crosses the River Garonne. Look over and see the river. There's a weir as well. It's rather windy up here. So I look forward to getting to the other side and walking up the canals. See what we can discover up there. Gosh, it is a little windy. My goodness. But never mind. Well, that's the fun of travelling. The weather is quite different to yesterday. So I just hope that the nice weather continues and the rain doesn't set in. I think tomorrow is going to be a washout, which would be a shame, but never mind. We'll press on and find something to do tomorrow. But I got today to enjoy and see what we can discover here in Toulouse. Oh, it's nice to get off that bridge and away from the wind. I'll come down to the ancient church of Saint Pierre. Not open to the public. I think it's part of one of the colleges or something here. It's only open for certain tours, I think. But it's nice, interesting to look at the wall, and there's a coffin hidden behind some pillars, and a little statue of Anne of Kiev. She was born around the year 1024. She was born Anna Yaroslavna, and she was the wife of King Henry I of France. And then I think she married Ralph IV de Valois after that. Rather a turbulent marriage, I believe. She died around the year 1075. It was quite a nice building looking up at it. Gosh, a bit windy over here as well. But I'm going to walk down now to the canal. It's the Canal de Brienne, and that connects the River Garonne with the Canal du Midi a little bit further up. But there's a lovely section of wall here. Now I'm not going to mention the wall at the moment because there's another part of the wall a little further up which I want to look at. But what I do want to look at is the lock gates here. And this is the Saint Pierre double lock, obviously named after the church we've just passed. And so it's the main contact point between the canal and the river. Quite massive gates there. You can see the opening to the river just beyond. this is the Canal de Brienne, constructed between 1768 and 1775, and opened in April of 1776. As I say, it provided the link between the river and the Canal du Midi, which is 1,450 metres along the canal. And the designer was a man called Joseph Marie de Saget. When I came to Toulouse for the first time about 6 years ago, I walked up to the basin at the end and to the Canal du Midi. What a lovely walk it was on a very hot summer's day. But what's brought me down to this part of the city are the old city walls, and they're just up ahead. And this is what remains of the old walls of Toulouse. Now, in Roman times, Toulouse was known as Tolosa. It was a city in the region of Gallia Narbonensis. The walls were 3 kilometres long and included around 50 towers, and surrounded the 90 hectares or so of the old city. These walls over the years have resisted the Arab sieges in the year 721 and the Catholic Crusades during the 13th century, and stopped the English during the 100 Years' War. And looking up at them, they're really rather nice. But these walls were actually constructed back in about 1509 by King Louis XII to protect the city from the Spanish. And originally there were about 10 towers, but only a few have survived. And I've walked into the, I think it's a university campus here, to take a look at the inside of the wall. There's a really nice little recess here. Maybe that might have formed part of a accommodation for guards. I don't know. There's another building up here as well, yeah. Maybe you can get into the tower. Well, there is an entrance here, but it's not accessible to go into the tower. But there's another little round recess as well. But it's really rather interesting looking up at the walls. It's nice to see that they have survived here over 500 years. Really interesting looking at the inside of the walls there. Wasn't expecting to get into the campus area, but I'm sure they won't mind. There's a little plaque on the wall here. Promenade Raymond V, Raymond V, Count of Toulouse, from 1134 to 1194. You can see that on the wall there. He was the son of Alphonse I, went on the Crusades. Well documented man. But this is the outside of the bastion I just looked at. Really is in good condition. Really is. It's just nice to see different city walls. They're quite different to the others that I've discovered on my travels. I wonder if there's a regional way of building walls. I don't know. I'm not up on building medieval walls and things, but the stonework of these walls, I say, are just quite different. You expect medieval walls to be built of stone rather than brick. But obviously in this region of France, it's a little different. I'm glad I've come down here, because I didn't on my first visit. I went up the canal and walked along the Canal du Midi, which is where I'm heading now. But first, I want to find a dragon. another little park. Do you like walking through parks in the middle of cities? Nice, quiet, tranquil space, surrounded by nature. And I'm hoping that down here is a dragon. I can't remember which way I walked last time I was here. I have seen the dragon before, so it's nice to come back and show you as well. Here we go. It's just here on the left. And the dragon is called Toulouse. It's a metal sculpture. It was designed back in 1993 by Tom Petrison. Created using scrap metal, and the base resembles a submarine. It's quite interesting to look at it actually. Looks like pipes off a heating system in there. Some steps from a canal. I dread to think what else they used. But it's a really nice little sculpture, as sculptures go. In classical architecture, the word Toulouse refers to a circular building with a conical roof. And from the Latin meaning we get, means dome or vault. And it is very dome-like, especially at the base. Really nice to see it. And a lovely little bit of water here as well. And on the inside of the water somewhere is the Japanese garden. So I'm going to walk through there and then head up to the Canal du Midi and see what we can discover up there. But it's nice to see the dragon. Especially sculptures like that, because someone's used their ingenuity to create that sculpture. And that's what I admire in a piece of sculpture like that. But let's cross over this little wooden bridge and into the Japanese garden. Walking through this garden, I could be anywhere. It's so Japanese in here, very zen. And there's a statue here of Taisan Deshimaru, Zen monk. I could be in the middle of Kyoto or Osaka. It's nice. Walk through this little bamboo-lined bridge and into a Japanese pavilion. This is really nice. I know I keep saying things are nice, but they really are in here. Feels very, I was going to say Japanese, but it is Japanese. Pavilion wouldn't look out of place anywhere, I don't think, in Japan. It's really nice. Nice little ground lake behind, a Japanese bridge. And over here is the Zen garden. Very, very uniform, with the lines going up and down, and the little pagodas and the little trees. This is really lovely. I'll leave you with some pictures of the gardens, and I'll make my way up to the Canal du Midi. And I've made it up onto the walkway over the Canal du Midi. This is not the best section or the most beautiful section, being flanked by 2 roads on either side. But it is the Canal du Midi. Construction began back in 1667 and was completed in 1681. The canal contains 65 sets of locks and it's 240 kilometres in length, all the way from Toulouse to the Mediterranean near Marseille. And as the beginning of the canal is at the top of the Canal de Brienne, and the basin there, and it goes all the way down towards Marseille. And this is where I end the video. It's rather noisy up here with the traffic, but there are lots more tranquil sections of the Canal du Midi, especially if you get down towards Lower Provence. It really is absolutely beautiful down there. And maybe traversing the canal for a future video might be a good idea. But now this is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow my journey, because there's plenty more to come. Thanks so much for watching.